All right, check us out, check us out, check us out, check us out, check us out. You just made it. All right, round two, you just made it. Round 13, actually. You know what I mean? We making 4 round bouts around here. All right, so check it out. First of all, if y'all don't know what's going on, we double fisting today. All right, we're going made a whole mess trying to show out. You know what I mean? I did it before. I did it earlier. That's why I thought I could do it again. You know what I mean? But two different flavors, and they both booming. All right, trying to show out. Got to y'all on my Malcolm shirt. All right, so this is what we got going. First of all, happy Malcolm Tuesday to y'all. Let's go ahead and do this disclaimer so we can go ahead and rock this out the right way. You know what I mean? Disclaimer time. All right, so first of all, let me make sure that I'm speaking into my mic and everything is good and copacetic. You know what I mean? Just so I can make sure that y'all can hear me and there's no technical difficulties around here. Because ain't nobody got no time for no technical difficulties. But disclaimer time. So this is a show, this is a podcast that may trigger you. I'm gonna put it just like that. It may trigger you. All right. Well, a lot of the topics and stuff that we just share in this podcast are experience based. Not much research was given to these topics because we are the research, we are the data. All right, so I'm saying all that to say, I might have to run upstairs and turn that heat off, shoot, because that is ridiculous. You know what I mean? But saying all that to say, if you're triggered or if something that we say make you feel some type of way, we always say, please take this time to evaluate why what was said made you feel some kind of way. And then, make those adjustments. You have the power. That's it. So what somebody say should not have the power to trigger you to want to, I got to talk to this nigga Phil off the line. I got to get this nigga a piece of my mind. Nah, man, just evaluate why what was said triggered you. All right. And then correct it within yourself. Don't come and try to correct me. All right. Because I said what I said, period. All right. That's the disclaimer. All right. So let's go through it. Let's go ahead and run through our little rundown real fast. You know what I mean? First of all, top of the top to you. You know what I mean? I'm King Phillip. If you don't know, go ahead and check out our website, makeachessmove.org. You know what I mean? There's a dope page. There's a dope piece on the website that, it's in our donation tab. You know what I mean? I don't truly push people to donate. I push people to come to our page to make donations. All right. So there's a tab on there where you can download our toolkit, and it's different posts, it's different pics, it's different wording that you can just copy and paste and post to your social media. You can email to your friends, you can email to your audience, whatever you do. You know what I mean? That's what we push people to do. All right, so go ahead and check that out on our makeachessmove.org. You know what I mean? Website. Go ahead, if you haven't liked the Facebook page, makeachessmove.org /Malcolm303. All right, everything is Malcolm303. We got the Instagram /Malcolm303. We got the Twitter, you know what I mean? And we got the Pinterest thing, you know what I mean? So anything social media wise is always /Malcolm303. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. My older cousin, I'm gonna say he was a drug kingpin. All right. He sold a lot of drugs. He sold a high quantity of drugs, and he sold, the worst kinds too. You know what I mean? Saying all that to say that I stayed with him. So let me give y'all a rundown on what that life was like when it comes to waking up. You know what I mean? And what that process is like. Because today, our topic is black ownership. You know what I mean? I'm looking at, are black men specifically afraid to own businesses? All right, that's where we're going with this one. All right. So again, we're looking at the behaviors within the black and brown community that nobody is saying anything about, that they just shrug it off like it's not a problem, and they continue these deadly and destructive behaviors like it's cool because nobody is saying anything about it. All right. So this is our platform to say something about those issues, about those destructive behaviors, and then also provide solutions from our perspective. Again, mind you, I'm not a professional. All right. I'm still working on my wording and how I can get my language out effectively. All right. And I was at that point where I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can get it out effectively. It'll be heard. It won't be interpreted the wrong way. You know what I mean? Boom, I'm on. Not at all. Not in the least bit. All right. So, when we woke up, every day we woke up, we would wake up in like some flip flops, some basketball shorts, and a wife beater. You know what I mean? During the summertime, of course. And we would go to the mall to get dressed, from brand new shoes to socks to drawers to pants to new wife beaters to shirt on top and a hat. From top to bottom, everything was new. Waking up every day. We didn't go to, the closet to get an outfit. You know what I mean? If an outfit was worn, it was worn that one time. All right. If shoes was worn, they were worn that one time. All right. A lot of the clothes that my older cousin got, he had passed down to me because, you know what I mean? For one, he only wore them one time, and I was still like, shit, man, I'll take it. You know what I mean? It's nothing. I don't need to get brand new everything every day type of thing. So I'm saying all that to say my older cousin, he owned his own business. All right. Whether it was selling drugs, he still owned and managed his own business. He had employees. All right. Some of his employees he called bro. All right. Some of them was family, blood related. Some of them wasn't, just been through it with him. He also started a nonprofit to funnel his money in. He also started a record label. Young Hustlers Records. All right. So I'm saying all this to say, when black folks, black men specifically, I'm even taking back too. There was a way to how he moved. I could be up. My cousin, he was an early bird. So immediately we already up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and the lane's moving. All right. And we would stop at the mall to get dressed when the mall would open. So we were already up moving around. And I was his driver. But the thing is, there was no schedule. There was no schedule to it. There was, the thing is, when he showed up, everybody stopped what they were doing to attend to his needs. If there was a phone call that you were having, those phone calls ended or they would be, all right, I'll call you right back. I got to take care of something real fast. When he came in, you know what I mean? It was the same theme, from our last discussion with CP time, the party don't start till I walk in was the thing. All right. But that was, I'm seeing that as that's selling drugs. That's living in them streets. That's that street life. You don't need no agenda for if you out there living in a street life. You don't need no schedule if you out there living in the street life. If you have everything written in your phone, a schedule, how much you gonna sell to so and so and blah blah, nigga, you incriminating yourself. All right, so there was no minutes at these meetings. You know what I mean? That's how he moved. All right. So I'm saying that to say we're gonna bump around. We're gonna jump around. I ain't even saved that question. We're gonna jump around still. You know what I mean? Number one, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Why are black men afraid of ownership? Why are black men afraid of ownership? All right, I'm gonna let that ponder for a minute. Why are black men afraid of ownership? And it don't have to be that we're afraid. I'm again, when I'm talking about myself as well. All right, and this is I'm asking that because there I work with a lot of black folks. I worked with a lot of black men. All right. I've been told that, you know what I mean? I've been told from, one of the dudes who I had working with me that he prefer structure. He preferred the structure of a job than having to create the structure for others to have that job. You know what I mean? And that's not I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm not saying that's a problem because he's still working, but at the same time, check it out. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree like a motherfucker too. My man Pope, he said comfort zone kills. Comfort zones kills. I agree. I'm saying, I mean, he's still working. My problem is with that. All right. He put this energy. He put this energy out there that like he can work for these white folks. He can be on time for these white folks. He can show up all day for these white folks. He can work overtime for these white folks. He can do all this extra stuff for these white folks. But you can't put in that time for yourself, for your own. Why not? That's where I'm going into. Is that we're afraid, we don't know how to, because there was that support too. You know what I mean? What is it? Why are black men afraid of ownership? Again, we going back to, I'm gonna go ahead and rewind it too. Again, talking about my cousin again, to this day, Phillip Deshaun Douglas has never sold one drug in his life. And when I say drug, I'm talking about them, them what they call them controlled substances, those felony one drugs, you know what I mean? I'm talking about them drugs that'll give you some life, some time, some football numbers type of shit, and they ain't even gotta find it or catch it on you type of shit. I'm talking about them drugs. A little bit of weed. I mean, but I was never a weed seller either. You know what I mean? I was never a weed seller either. My mom, she was ahead, which means I have an addictive personality. I smoked my weed that I was supposed to sell. I ended up paying it all. You know what I mean? So I was never a weed seller either. You know what I mean? So coming back to, my cousin, I saw him move. He didn't put stuff in his name. All right. Everything that he owned, he put it in my name. From the houses to the cars to the phones, everything that he was paying for was in my name. All right. I was young at this time, 20, 21, 22, 23, corner store young boy still type shit. You know what I mean? He had other cars and stuff in his baby mom's names or in his girlfriend's name. He never put anything in his own name. Never. Why? I know men to this day, they got businesses and they booming and everything look good on the back end. They got cars, they got houses. Everything look good on the back end, but everything is in their kid's mom's name. Everything is in their wife's name. Why is that? There's nothing in their name. Why is that? Some of it is a pattern that we picked up. Some of it is a I mean, and my man, again, my man Pope, he said it, he said, I honestly wasn't introduced or shown a different way till his 30s. Okay. I mean, that's a reality too. I mean, that's a reality too. You know what I mean? We don't get to see what that's supposed to look like. But we also have an inkling like niggas ain't dumb. You know what I mean? So, and that's where I was going. That's exactly where I was going too. We're taught traditional education at an early age, go to school, go to work for 45 years, generational curses. I got 81 college credits. I have no motivation to finish because number one, I'm already in my career. I'm already in my field. I don't essentially need no piece of paper to take me further. All right. And number two, I see how closely related the prison system is to the educational system. And it's that itself took my motivation away, even coming from that school to prison pipeline. I was on that joint heavy. From elementary, getting suspended in elementary, getting expelled and suspended in middle school, getting expelled and suspended in high school, and getting kicked out of college. I was kicked out of Fort Lewis for weed. All right. It was some bullshit though. Y'all heard that story already in another episode. But going back to with nothing being in our names. I mean, even looking at myself, with everything that my cousin had, and he had everything in my name. When he went to prison, when I went to prison, we weren't able to pay anything, so thus fucked my credit up. All right, still repairing 10 years later. That's the reason why I didn't put anything in my name. That's the reason why I went that route to putting everything in my kid's mom's name. All right, just to make sure that we can still get something done. All right, while I'm still trying to repair my shit on the back end. But, it's coming back down to what is the solution to that? Because that can't be the solution. You know what I mean? To continue to put stuff in other people's names until you get your shit done, until you get it. I don't know. But coming back to, why are black men afraid of ownership? We don't have our cars in our names, businesses, sometimes houses. The only thing that men probably have in their names nowadays is their phones, if that. All right. So is that a sense of fear or not? It doesn't have to be essentially. All right. It does not have to be fear essentially, because my grandmother, she raised us to believe that credit was bad. She always told me, when I get older and stuff like that, to stay away from credit cards, When they send you, just rip them up. And that's all I did. All throughout high school, all throughout college, once I get these credit card things, I would just rip them up. I ain't even open them. I ain't even want to get to know what was going on in them. So again, just like Pope was saying, we wasn't taught. We wasn't introduced or shown differently. You know what I mean? And this is in the black culture. I was taught that credit was bad. To the point right now where I still do not have any credit cards. All right, I don't have any. I have my business credit cards, but I do not have any personal credit cards. I am not building any credit. All right. Again, this is an issue and a problem within the black community because I know the value of credit now. Why don't I have any credit cards? Because I don't want none. I'm going to teach my kids so that they will have better knowledge and they can handle it better. they will be on a better plane than I am when it comes to credit. But even coming down to, I know I wasn't the only one whose parents taught them that credit was bad. You know what I mean? So again, is that just in the black community? Is that just in the black community? And why is credit seen as bad? Why was it seen as bad? Especially if it can, make our living situations better at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's what credit does. Makes doors a little easier to get in. Even if you got the cash, even if you got the money will only get you so far. All right. So what is it with black men? What will ease that uncertainty when it comes to ownership? What will ease that uncertainty? I don't know what it is. I know if some of us jump out on faith, and that's dope. You know what I mean? To have that faith, to have that something to believe in and stuff like that. But some folks don't have that. They just got, what they got. They believe is they hustle. All right. But even with that, you got to have faith in your hustle. So what uncertainties do you have, and what do you need to ease those uncertainties when it comes to business ownership? I'm not even going to say it's fear. We're going to call them uncertainties. Black men, what uncertainties do you have that about about ownership that we can help ease, that we can provide some solutions? Because that's the bottom line. I want to leave me enough time for this last question, for my last little topic within this piece right here. All right. I had reworded this question earlier a different way, but it didn't save, and I had just wrote it down while I was talking too. So how come, it's coming to businesses? How come black folks, again, I'm talking about black businesses, how come we can't do business with all people the right way? And this is what I mean. How come when it comes to, and I've discussed this before, I've talked about this before. How come when it comes to doing business with white folks, all right? Number one, black folks, they get ecstatic when they get into a ring or get around the table with some white folks that got money. All right. It's still not knowing that they on the menu, but I'm saying all this to say these black folks will be on time. They will be early. They will be ready. There will not be any excuses. They will not want these white folks to see bad business ethics coming from them. All right. They don't want these white folks to know that they slip up, that they fuck up, that they don't call on time, that they don't show up on time, that they don't call, that they don't it's these traits, it's these issues, real life. All right. But when it comes down to doing businesses with other black or brown folks, you want to drag your ass in there later than the time that you scheduled it and have everybody else in there waiting on your ass. How come you can't? How come black folks can't come to these business meetings on time with the same business mannerisms that they have when they dealing with these white folks that they can't bring with these black folks? How come we can't do that? How come I'm expected to accept nigga shit? How come I am expected to accept some nigga shit? Let me tell y'all right now, I was a part of a group that we were long story short, we trying to put together a group because there's a lot of great nonprofits out here ran by black men and black women that is doing great work out here in the community. All right, but at the same time, if this person's doing something over there, they doing over there, they doing over there, I'm doing over here, they doing over there, we doing over, and it's not coming together like butt cheeks, it's not intentional. You know, we still going to continue to lose these babies at a rapid rate because we're all doing our work, but we're not coming together, and we can't come together for some reason. All right. So I'm saying all that to say that my organization, Malcolm, our organization, the community's organization, was invited to this group. All right. I didn't go seek them out. I didn't go ask to be a part of it and stuff like that. They see the work that we doing, and they wanted us to be a part of that group. All right. This is where I'm getting to. They wanted me to be a part of this group with the understanding that, well, with the assumption that I understood that my role in the group was to shut the fuck up and be compliant. Don't say nothing. Don't, if something that I don't like happens, I'm supposed to sit down, keep my mouth shut, and shut the fuck up. I'm going to just say every meeting I had something to say. Every meeting I had something to say. And this is working with other black and brown men. First meeting was, that's where everything started. You know what I mean? It was the very first meeting. And if you know me, if I don't like something, I'm going to say something. If I feel like I am being disrespected, I will say something. All right. I will try to say it the most positive, uplifting, relationship building, connecting kind of way. So there's always some strength. There's always some growth. There's always okay, this is what I can do next so it won't happen again. There's always a lesson in how I try to give feedback, especially if it's some disrespectful shit towards me. All right. And I feel like when it comes to my time, especially time is something we don't get back. You know what I mean? And some of y'all done time. You know what I mean? So, when it comes to being disrespectful in my time, again, I don't take that lightly. You know what I mean? So the very first meeting I said something in terms of people being impeccable with their word, and then I challenged them to be impeccable with their words. All right. I said that exactly just like that. I challenge you to be impeccable with your words. And if y'all know the book, The Four Agreements by Miguel Paulo Ruiz or Miguel Don Ruiz, I forget his name. The four agreements are be impeccable with your words. That's one of them. Don't make assumptions. This is not the order. Do not make assumptions. Don't take anything personal, and always try your best. Those are the four agreements. And it said if you can live your life according to those four agreements, your life will be grand. You will have the best life that you can live, period. And as easy as it sounds, those four agreements: don't take anything personal, be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions, always do your best. As easy as those sound, they're the hardest things to do in the world. All right. I know because I've been practicing for a while now, almost 10 years now. All right. I've been practicing and I fall short every day. All right. But I said I challenge you to be impeccable with your word. Mind you, I am in the nonprofit sector. You know, the language in the nonprofit sector is, you know, especially when it come down to these reports, when you have to report, you know, what you did with the money and stuff like that. They ask you in these reports, what are some challenges that you faced? You know, what are some challenges? You know, it's always the word challenge. These white folks is asking us, what challenges you got? What challenges did you face? What challenge did you know what I mean? Always. So me, you know, transferred that language. I challenged him to be impeccable with his word. All right. Boom. He took it way the fuck left. I don't need you checking me. I don't need you jamming me up. So these white folks, they can challenge us, but we can't challenge each other to be better. That's all I was asking. If you tell me something, stand by that. I know we're going to fall short. I fall short all the time, still to this day. But I'm trying. I know other people are trying. They trying. But at the same time, oh man, second time. All right. Second time I wasn't invited to the meeting because I challenged him to be impeccable with his word. Again, mind you, this meeting right here is so that we can decrease youth violence in our community. All right. This is what this group is for. We can decrease youth violence in our community, you know, capacity building. All right. He took it personal and didn't invite me to the next meeting. All right. We didn't hear about it until the last minute. We driving up to the space and everything like that. But long story short, the third meeting we had met and everything like that. After, you know what I mean, after the second meeting, we didn't get invited. We had met. He told me that, you know what I mean. Basically, he took the shit personal. You know what I mean? Just me challenging him to be impeccable with his word. He took them words right there personal. All right. So the rest of the group voted to have us back on, have Malcolm back on. All right. So when we come back, you know, I'm on time. I'm impeccable. I'm ready to go, punctual, ready. Everybody wasn't on time. Even the person who set the meeting up wasn't on time. Our facilitator wasn't on time. I'm supposed to accept nigga shit. I'm on time. I'm the only one. And the new dude who came in, we the only ones in there like, damn, we in the right spot. So soon everybody start coming in. All right, meeting was supposed to start at 4. I talked about this during our CP time. Meeting was supposed to start at 4. We get started at 4:05. It's not a big problem. It's 5 minutes, but still, we can't effectively use the 5 minutes that we just lost. All right, that's how I'm seeing it. So I asked everybody if there's a way that we can be that we can be on time. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be no reason why we have something scheduled. This is where I'm going to. Where we have something scheduled on the calendar and folks are still showing up late. My older cousin, like I told you on the beginning, he didn't have no calendar. That's why he showed up when the fuck he showed up. That's why people stopped whatever they was doing when he showed up. The party truly didn't start until he walked in. And we had business folks. I ain't talking about, I mean, they probably did do a little hustling and sell a little dope in their days, but we have business folks out here who are hosting these meetings, and this is where I'm getting to, who are hosting these meetings with other black folks, and they're they're coming late to these meetings that they host, that they put together. They come in late and they expect everybody to be cool with it. I guess everybody was cool with it but me, because I'm the only one that said something. So with me saying something in terms of setting the bar this high so we can all reach it, there was excuses like, well, yeah, I know everybody has their problems and everybody has situations that come up and everybody, I'm like, so the last meeting was yesterday. I get an email from the dude. I didn't even know the email had came in. I was called. You know, our operations coordinator, she had called me and told me, did you check the email? I'm like, no, I'm getting ready to log into this meeting. She said, nah, you don't need to. He said, you can't come to the meeting. He's not I'm like, what? I can't come to the meeting? What I do now? And if you know me, you know I stayed in shit in school. You know what I mean? So every time I had got called down to the office, it was always something. You know, even nowadays when I get when the principals of schools call me down to their offices, I always still feel an uneasiness, just because of the fact when I was in school, being called to the office was never a good thing. You know what I mean? But nowadays they calling to tell me how much of a good job that I'm doing, where they can use more of my support at and stuff like that. That's what these calls are for nowadays. You know what I mean? So when he tell me, I'm reading the email now, he say, I've thought about this real hard. Something. I'm gonna have to rescind the invitation to the meeting tonight until we can meet and discuss something. This is the first time we had already discussed all the issues and everything. That's what and everybody voted us back in. Like, this is where I'm getting to. All right, I dragged this story the hell out. This is where I'm getting to. I had tapped into the meeting. They playing like everything good. They want to go on with business as usual. I thank God that the homie Coach he was in there. All right, because the boy had called him before and told him that I said I wasn't going to be there. He was calling people and telling people that I said I wasn't going to come to the meeting. When in fact he told me that he wasn't going to send, he didn't want me in the meeting. He didn't extend that. He was taking my invitation away to be in that meeting. Mind you, he invited me to the meeting, but I don't think I don't think he can make them calls right there. You know what I mean? This is something very personal. For what reason? I have no fucking idea. I'm just trying to hold him up here. That's all I'm trying to do. Hold him up here, and he's complacent. He black folks. But the homie was in the meeting. He's like, look, man, I ain't about to sit up here and act like ain't nothing going on. Can we talk about what the fuck is going on? So it's a long story short, but it come back out. I tell them that I wasn't invited to the group. It come down to that they don't want me in a group, or one dude specifically. Ain't nobody else said nothing. All right, one dude specifically. He don't want me in a group because he said I'm bringing some bureaucracy into the group, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. If me expecting to hold people at they highest at this bar up here instead of down here on some nigga shit, if that's bureaucracy, then I guess that's me being bureaucratic or whatever the fuck. I had to look that word up when he was throwing that shit at me. I'm like, I can't even say this shit. Bureaucracy? What a bureaucracy have to do with this? You know what I mean? I'm like, so I had to look it up. Like, hold on, that don't even go with what you was saying. I don't even think what? But long story short, if this is the lesson right here. If you were on some nigga shit, black or brown, And the thing is too, because last week, my episode was on CP time. And for this meeting, you know, I'm in the meeting and my man Gerald, who works with me, he wasn't in the meeting, he wasn't on time. So while I'm on screen, people can see me pick up my phone. I'm on mute though. They can see me pick up my phone and I'm like, I'm asking Gerald, where the fuck you at? You know what I mean? We supposed to be on time. We setting that bar. You know, our reputation as Malcolm, as make a chess move, is we always on time and we ready. So if I have one of my employees who's not on time, who's not ready, yeah, I'm a trip. You know what I mean? That's always been my pattern with people who I work with, is if you are not on time, especially nowadays when all we have to do is click the button, then I'm a flash. All right. But my man Gerald, he was like, oh, nah, we ain't supposed to be in a meeting. I'm like, well, I'm in here. He said, okay, boom, I'm tap in. And he tapped in. So, you know, I'm just, it's coming back to like, you know, he didn't want me in that space. He did not want me in that meeting because they wanted that space to talk about me, to talk about us. The first meeting that we didn't get the invite to, they had that time to talk about us. All right. And now that we had came to the meeting, they didn't want to, you know, it came down to, you know, the bottom line is, how come black folks can't do business like they do with white folks with black folks? How come you want to be seen as this person in these white folks' eyes, and you want to be seen as somebody differently in these black folks' eyes? You know, when it comes to Philip Deshaun Douglas, King Phillip, hey, I'm going to be seen as who I am in everybody's eyes. Who I am at home is who I am in a community, is who I am in these business meetings. I don't water down what I have to say. I don't try to dilute my tongue. It comes out raw as the fuck. And if they accept it, that's cool. If not, that's cool. I'm not going to conform. I'm not going to put on a tie. I'm not going to act and show all my teeth in front of these white folks and frown when I'm around my brown and black folks. I'm not going to do that little dance around them white folks. Saying all this to say, man, if you expecting me to be on some nigga shit when it comes to this here business, don't invite me to nothing, because I will hold you accountable. All right. First of all, period. And you may not like it, but if you can, but if the thing is, it's all growth. There was nothing disrespectful. There was nothing disrespectful, because it's coming down to, this is a reminder why I don't like working with adults. Every job that I had as an adult, working with an adult, I got fired. Just because adults be on some adult bullshit, especially when they got their old selfish. And the thing is, it come back down to this. If I have a meeting, this is just me personally. If I have a meeting on the calendar that I set up and I'm late to that meeting, that's my ego. Period. That is my ego. I don't have much of an ego. I don't think, I truly believe that I do not have much of an ego. I have an ego, but it's not to the point where I'm disrespectful of other people's time. I have an ego, but it's not, I don't know if somebody can explain my ego to me, please, because I'm just like, when I mean that's what it come down to. You know what I mean? You got people waiting on you, and at the end of the day, if we trying to save these, and not even save these babies' lives, if we trying to support these babies, and at the end of the day, we trying to provide a space for these babies. Excuse me. We trying to provide a space for these babies. And we letting our own adult issues come in between of the work that needs to get done. I truly need to think that we need to evaluate why we are doing this work that we are doing. If it's not to save these babies. Me personally, I'm getting tired of these babies out here killing and shooting each other. If there's things and stuff that we can do to stop, and if there's more efforts that we can put forth. I know these mamas is tired of burying their babies. Homies is tired of burying their homies. Brothers is tired of burying their brothers. Sisters is tired of burying their sisters. All behind bad business practices. That's what it comes down to. Bad business practices. Bad business ethics. I don't care how long. You could have been doing this work for 25,000 years. That's what they be telling me. I've been doing this work for 2,500,000 million years. Okay, that's fine. That's great. I applaud you, my guy. I applaud you. You've been doing it for 2,500,000 million years. Wrong. Just because you do something a long time don't mean you are doing it the right way. Period. Just because you have been doing something for a long time does not mean you've been doing it the right way. And some of us who do this work, who are considered experts with a million letters after our names, think that they can show up when they want to these meetings so that we can get to work. Especially when we only have a limited amount of time to meet, so we can be intentional about the work. If we have a limited amount of time, why are we not maximizing this time that we have by just coming on time and doing what we're supposed to do? That's my whole thing. I don't like waiting for people. I work better with people with good business practices. I would love to work with black folks with great business practices. But black folks, we don't think that what we do is a problem. We don't think, black and brown folks, I'm going to say that. We don't think that what we do is a problem. How we move is a problem. We think that how we move is just, okay, well, nigga, I'm here. I'm here. Like, that's cool. Like, that's not very considerate of other people's time, my guy, my ladies, at all. And it's unfortunate because with this work that we doing, it's the thing is, there's been multiple efforts to bring groups together, and it seemed like they are always failing, especially these black and brown groups, because we can't. I don't know why, but we can't. Why can't we? Let's tap in real fast. My man Pope, he said our people don't see opportunity, growth in each other. Black culture is always in competition with each other. I guess we're genetically predisposed of thinking white folk money is different than black folk money. It's that slave mentality. I mean, and in response to that too, like I told you, I don't have an ego. I truly do not see anybody as competition at all. I'm always trying to see folks as collaborators. I want to see how we can work together. And that's my thing. So it's getting, I've already came to this conclusion and this solution a while ago. I'm working with the youth who came through Macam. All right. So these youth who are growing up, who are adults now, you know what I mean? Tap in. Let's do some work together, especially if you've been through Macam. You know what I mean? Let's work together. There are a lot of adults out here who are stopping us from doing the work for their own selfish ego, and we just trying to do the work. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy because even when it comes to these catering, to these women and the dudes who's catering and cooking and stuff like that too. Like, my money don't spend, and I break bread too, and then they turn around and do nigga shit like didn't I just spend $200 on some popcorn? All right, I'll go find me a new dessert plug, and that's exactly what I do. I find somebody who got some good desserts and stuff like that, and I plug them. I mean, I spend bread with these people, black folks. And then here comes the bullshit. Like, I'm still expected to spend with them. And here comes the bullshit. Nah, homie, I just go find me a different dessert, something else to please my need. You know what I mean? And that be that. So, like, my money don't spend. But, you right. Ego can benefit us or work against us. I'm learning to put mine aside when it comes down to important matters. I mean, that's bottom line. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. And I'm seeing it more as a hindrance. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have your ego in check. And I mean, for the excuses, for the reasons that people come up with for them not being on time for their own meetings, like, where the fuck y'all do that at? How are you not on time for your own meeting that you put together? These are adults. These are professionals. This is like a repeat from our last, you know what I mean, from our last session. You know what I'm saying? But, it's important, though, because they tie in hand. Black ownership, black businesses, and doing business with black businesses, it's an issue. Make me not want to do business with niggas. Make me not want to do businesses with black businesses. Like, we don't know common sense business practices. Like we don't know, if I have a meeting, if I schedule a meeting, I'm going to just show up late. I'll be a few minutes late, even if I scheduled it. Ain't nobody going to flex. I set the meeting up. This is my game. I put this shit together. Me, that's who. For somebody to pull us, and let me tell y'all, for somebody to pull us out of the group to raise to, where we had some money involved, because I wasn't a yes man, because I wasn't one of them step and fetch it type of niggas, because I stood up for good business practices. I'm gonna tap in though. Black and brown business practices are still under development. I mean, why though? Why? We can't be under development if we have the businesses. If we have businesses going, we need to have them shits developed. If I'm supposed to be open at 9 o'clock every day, 9:05, fuck around. See how many people who expected you to be there at 9 o'clock will go somewhere else to get that business. I mean, if we need to, I jig you. Yes, indeed, I jig you 110%, you know, but at the same time, I see that as an excuse. Some are paving a way for most that don't understand the concept of how money works. We have to be intentional by exposing the elephant. Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree. You know what I mean? So, I mean, let's look at solutions now. Let's look at solutions. All right, I'm past my solution time. When it comes to solutions, all right, I don't think black men are afraid of ownership. I just believe that there are some uncertainties about ownership that will steer black men into not having anything in their name or owning anything. And I'm speaking specifically, not even speaking specifically about me, but about different situations that I've seen. Me specifically, I'm the minute I can, I will. All right, the minute I can, I will. I don't know what will. I don't know what will ease that uncertainty. Educating yourself, number one, will ease that uncertainty. Don't run with folks who don't believe in you. If you share an idea with somebody and they be like, I don't fuck with them. If they ain't excited about the opportunity that you share with them, and you didn't have to share it with them, and they like, I don't think that's gonna say less. You know what I mean? Don't put too much more energy into that person, those individuals like that. Separate yourself, distance yourself. The strengthen yourself. I'll say that. All right, I'll say that. And how come we can't do businesses? Oh man, how come we can't do business with black folks like we do with white folks? Um, I'm stumped. I'm literally stumped on this one. I don't know why black folks cannot do business with other black and brown folks like they do with white folks. I don't know why we expect other black folks to accept our nigga shit. I don't know what solution I can provide for this one besides the solution here is easy. Do business with the right people. But who are the right people? And the right people seems to be white. But I don't believe that. I do believe that there are some black folks with black partners, not black folks with white partners. I believe that there are black folks with black partners who can still do business the right way and not on no nigga shit. Damn, that shit is killing us. We gotta get off that nigga shit, like for real, because that is not doing us any good. That's driving more black dollars away from our black businesses because we want to be on nigga shit. Nigga shit. We are driving away our money. We're driving away our dollars because we don't have good business practices. We can't pass food inspections. These black restaurants don't stay open long either because they don't have good business practices. Oh man. But look, check it out. I just got a little bit of Joe. I ain't got no more, man. You know what I mean? That's it for the show. I gotta go. busting bars. All right, but yeah, that's it, man. We gotta. I mean, this is a problem, and we have to do something. We have to come up with a solution because this cannot continue. This cannot continue. All right. But yeah, I got work to do, man. I'm gonna tap in with y'all. Y'all have a good one out there. Peace.